Video game addiction is excessive use of video games that interferes with daily life. Users play compulsively, isolating themselves from family and friends and from other forms of social contact, and focus almost entirely on in-game achievements rather than other life events. A shy child can suddenly become sociable, a passive child can become aggressive. Young people, who often feel powerless in their daily lives, suddenly have the ability to command armies, drive and crash cars, and wreak disaster on a virtual world with no real-life consequences. Video games have become one of the favorite activities of children all around the world. Worldwide video game sales were $20 billion in 2000, which has now gone to 10 times larger than that now.
It's the latest edition of the most popular video game series in history, and Call of Duty Black Ops outsold any other entertainment product last year. More than 3 million copies were sold, earning £135 million. By contrast, last year's best-selling video, Avatar, earned £40 million. And Take That's Progress, the top-selling album, made nearly £18 million. But entertainment retailers say it was a difficult year, with combined sales of music, games and videos down by 4%. Older formats like DVDs and CDs are now in decline, with new ones like Blu-ray failing to grow quickly enough to fill the gap. And even in the games world, not everything was positive. Sales of games for the Nintendo Wii and the DS were down by more than a quarter, as consumers moved to newer consoles. In the fast-changing world of digital entertainment, last year's hits can be this year's also-rans.
With the introduction of Nintendo in the mid-1980s and later the Sony PlayStation in the mid-1990s, violence became more graphic and realistic. For example, the game Soldier of Fortune, which was released for personal computer in 2000, features 26 different killing zones in the body and employs the first-person mode, which allows the player to view violence through the eyes of the video game character. With this in mind, it is likely that studies carried out 10 to 15 years ago on the effects of violent video games underestimate the effects of modern violent games on children today. Although the existing research provides some support for links between both violent video game content and amount of play with aggressive and academic outcomes.
We have reached to our friend Saad, who is known as an addict of games. So let's see him. So, sir, tell me that how much do you spend playing games a week?
A week, I mostly, if I take, say that 6 hours per day, then you can multiply by 6, multiply by 7. Yeah, you can say that 42 hours per week.
Per week. Okay, that's a pretty much time.
Yeah, for sure. For a gaming addict, you can say that.
So you admit that you are addict.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And does it affect to your family when you play so much game?
Yeah, it really does affect the family. Like previously, the past 1 week, my cousins arrived here with their family, and they were going for shopping and for entertaining and for outing. But I was just separated from them. I just didn't even talk to them.
So
I just
you are
playing
not
the game
including.
actually gaming, computer, everything. Gaming and computer is my life.
Tell us that how much money do you spend on playing as, let's say, per month?
It's cost me around 15 to 20,000 per month for only my computer, because I change my especially I change my LCD almost every 2 months.
Okay, that means you spend a lot of money of your parents. So,
yeah, for sure.
So they don't have any problem with your expenditures on the video.
They have. Sometimes they say that it's worth nothing or whatever, but actually in my family, we not only me, I'm not just the one in my family who is addicted to gaming. My brother is also addicted to gaming.
So you know the disadvantages or effects of games. so much addiction, as you know, as you already told me that you lost your
Eyesight.
eyesight.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, he said that you lost your eyesight because you. I told him that I play game all night, 12 to 6, with all lights off on my CRTs.
Okay.
Those days LCDs were not involved, so the rays coming out from the CRTs, they really,
Harmful.
they are really harmful to my eyes, and I'm pretty much at eyesight.
So, are you satisfied with the gaming limitations that they have some ranks? It's under 13, under 8, under.
Yeah, sure. They should give some, because like the games like Grand Theft Auto 4 with very open language and
Abusive language.
abusive language and some sexuality as well. So just like the demo you are watching here, it's also a violence game. You are just playing against the law.
Okay.
You are playing against the law. They are catching you and you are just the culprit. You are racing away and killing the cops and
So, do you take part in physical games also? Sports?
no, not at all.
Not at all. And do you think that games increases your intelligence?
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Intelligence as well, and your IQ level.
As an addict, you are addict. So you think that the violent games should be banned, or they are not
No,
recommended?
they shouldn't be banned, but they should be PG rated,
Okay.
like above 17 or above 18.
Alright.
Below 18 or 17, they should not be allowed to the people who are under age.
So do you think that the video games, the addiction to the video games, affects your studies?
Yeah, a lot.
Hello. Okay. So can you tell us about that? How much money you have spent? How much it was your computer?
My computer is more than 1 lakh actually. It's above that. I use this gaming keyboard just to program each and every key so that they should respond exactly like I want, not just like company programmed things. Even the mouse, my mouse is tailor made. Even every press is programmed by myself.
Okay.
The chassis I'm using is here the NVIDIA, it's Cooler Master NV690. I'm using 8 GB of RAM, Intel Core i3 overclocked at the rate of 4 GHz and GTX 465 1 GB with DirectX 11 support.
Okay. So, why do you play games? Just for entertainment or relaxing yourself, or just for passing time?
No, passing time is not the thing. The first thing you said was really true. I play the game for the entertainment because I'm addicted to that type of entertainment. And if I don't get this type of entertainment, then I get really arrogant.
Okay.
I get angry when I don't get that type of entertainment. Even
Video games may also have bad effects on some gamers' health, including obesity, video indecessors, and postural, muscular, and skeletal disorders. A youth is the victim of these problems due to spending several hours on computer playing games. To find out causes of such health problems in youth, our team visited few doctors.
तो यही है कि अगर आप उसको न्यूरोलॉजिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बात करें तो इट्स द ट्रिगर और एपिलेप्सी जिसे हम आम जुबान में ना मिर्गी कहते हैं, मतलब उसका ट्रिगर है बहुत बड़ा कि वो उसको ट्रिगर कर सकता है। एक तो वो है जिससे पहले से नॉन एपिलेप्सी है उसको दोबारा फिक्स कर सकता है, दोहरा हो सकता है। दूसरा जिसके अंदर ना अभी डोरमेंट है, जाहिर नहीं है, उसको प्रमोट कर सकता है। दूसरा ये है कि सिर्फ अगर वो लॉन्ग टर्म ये गेम्स देखता रहे तो उसके अपने बिहेवियर के अंदर चेंजेस आ सकती हैं, एग्रेशन हो सकती है उसके अंदर, तो उसके अंदर खुद एग्रेशन आ जाए, क्योंकि बच्चों की साइकिल इस तरह होती है कि वो जिस चीज़ को देखते हैं ना उसे फॉलो करने की कोशिश करते हैं, जिसे लाइक करते हैं उसी को फॉलो करने की। अगर इस तरह की गेम्स बहुत ज़्यादा देखें जिसमें वायलेंस है तो वो इटसेल्फ उनकी नेचर में चीज़ बैठ जाती है। घर में भाइयों से लड़ना, वालिदैन से लड़ना, दोस्तों से लड़ना, और इस तरह की वायलेंस हो सकती है उसके अंदर। दूसरा सोशल विड्रॉल हो सकता है। सोशल विड्रॉल में कि जब वो गेम में इतने ज़्यादा इंडल्ज हो जाते हैं तो फिर बाकी लोगों से कट ऑफ हो जाते हैं। ये इटसेल्फ हम सारा डिप्रेशन इंड्यूस कर सकता है उसके अंदर। डिप्रेशन हो सकता है, फिर बिहेवियरल चेंज आ सकती है ना, जो उसकी एडाप्टेशन होती हैं बाकी लोगों के साथ, उसमें इफेक्टेड हो सकती है उसके अंदर। हेडेक की एक खास टाइप होती है जिसे हम ये कहते हैं, वो स्टिमुलस हो सकता है इसके अंदर कि वो उसको खराब कर देते हैं। अब पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट इन द सेंस सारे हर चीज़ की ना खास लिमिट के अंदर हो तो डेफिनेटली है ना, एक रिक्रिएशनल पर्पसेस के लिए यूज़ करें, तफरीह के लिए यूज़ करें। जिस तरह हमारे यहाँ आपके कोई वाक़ई नहीं है, पार्क नहीं है बहुत सारी जगह पे, तो बच्चे अगर थोड़ी सी देर के लिए करें तो एक तफरीह है माइंड फ्रेश करने के लिए होता ये है कि गेम से ये है कि अगर उनको प्रॉपरली गेम दी जाए तो डेफिनेटली वो अपनी लाइफ में अंदर ज़्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्म।
Recreation, and if the game is healthy and not aggressive, then it may be a positive impact that it keeps the person away from those negative activities into the society, into the street crimes and into the bad company. That is that may be keeping a person away from those companies. That may be a good phenomena, but otherwise most of the time long games on the computer screen, that is not a good habit.
विजुअल इम्पैक्ट कौन सा है वो एज कम्पेयर टू जो गेम का जो इम्पैक्ट होता है वो ज़्यादा होता है बजाय इसके जो आप पढ़ते हैं। तो उसका अगर आप उसको पॉजिटिव वे में दिखाएंगे तो डेफिनेटली उसकी लर्निंग पे उसकी परफॉर्मेंस पे अच्छा इफेक्ट हो सकता है।
एडिक्शन की तरह के लिए जैसे
हाँ एडिक्शन की तरह आती है तो लिमिट के अंदर आती है डेफिनेटली।
They are very bad, and the person keeps on eating something like chips or bottles or something, these snacks, and children getting obese due to these bad habits as well. And this obesity, this fatness, that is causing them multiple health problems that may be evident initially in case of poor mobility, poor exercise, and poor metabolic profile of the body, and increasing cholesterol in blood, and later on that person may be having increased risk of having diabetes or hypertension, or increased cholesterol in the blood, and increased risk of heart attacks, and obviously decreased the person or child is giving decreased time to the exercise. So that is an important paradigm shift from in the social pattern of life. They do eat food, but they do eat junk foods. Yeah. They eat burgers and they eat chips, and they eat bottles. They drink bottles and soft drinks and cold drinks like this, and that is increasing the fatness actually, and that is keeping them away from exercise.
Chris Staniforth was just 20 when he unexpectedly died. He was always very keen on new technology and hoped to develop a career in the gaming industry.
He'd got a secured place at Leicester University for games design, so that was something to look forward to. He'd probably been on all night on the computer at his desk, one Facebook or gaming, one or the other. But he picked his friend up because he was going for an interview at the job centre. He wanted a part-time job in IT. They got outside, Chris was driving, parked the car. He told his friend he'd had like a pounding heart in the night, what had disturbed him, and we think that now that was the blood clot passing through his heart. And then Chris went into a spasm and basically died. And then they tried to resuscitate him on the pavement outside the car.
Like many who have grown up in this multimedia age, Chris was a keen gamer.
The condition is usually associated with long-haul flights, but studies suggest that any situation where somebody spends hours sitting in one place, including in front of a screen at a desk, increases the risk of deep vein thrombosis.
The condition is the formation of a blood clot in a vein inside a person's leg, which, if not treated, can move into the lungs and prove to be fatal.
This is not normal in such a young person. It's immobile people in hospitals, people who have been brought to hospital through DVTs on long-haul flights, and scenarios like that.
Now David is setting up a website with the help of Chris's friends to raise awareness about the dangers of using computers and consoles for long periods of time.
Don't stop your child from playing the game. They love doing it. It's great fun. It's not to, bug them about it, not spoil the fun, but just be aware, enjoy it, but take a break.
One of the biggest problems about youth playing video games is not violence in the game itself, but lack of parents' responsibility in what their children are interested in and are doing in their spare time, which includes video games they play on what they waste most of their time. Children playing video games on regular basis get used to violence and aggression and perceived it as something normal, which, as they think, can be seen and experienced in everyday life. Video games are a pastime enjoyed by millions of people worldwide. However, what you might not know is that playing video games can cause a variety of negative effects upon your eyes. It is important to note that certain video game types, mainly action games, have also been proven to heighten the vision. For this reason, we visited an eye specialist to get a biological opinion. The interview conducted explained the effects of video games on eyes.
आइज़ वीडियो गेम्स का जो इफेक्ट आइज़ के ऊपर होता है, सबसे जो कॉमन हमें जो फेस करना पड़ता है हमारे ऑपरेटीज़ में और क्लिनिक्स में, वो है ड्राइनेस। ड्राइनेस की वजह से पेशेंट अक्सर हमारे पास आते हैं ब्लरिंग ऑफ विजन के साथ, क्योंकि जब आप गेम्स खेल रहे होते हैं तो आपकी इतनी ज़्यादा कंसंट्रेशन उस गेम के अंदर चली जाती है कि अक्सर औकात जो ब्लिंकिंग रेट होता है नॉर्मल, वो कम हो जाता है। जब ब्लिंकिंग रेट कम हो जाता है तो एयर ड्राई एलिमेंट होता है टीयर फिल्म का, क्योंकि हर आँख के ऊपर एक टीयर फिल्म होती है नॉर्मली, जिसको एक ब्लिंकिंग जो है वो उसको करती रहती है। लेकिन अगर आपकी ब्लिंकिंग रेट कम हो जाए तो वो ड्राइनेस ज़्यादा हो। ड्राइनेस की वजह से 3 कंडीशन सबसे पहले पेशेंट के पास आएंगी। नंबर 1 इज़ इरिटेशन, नंबर 2 इज़ वाटरिंग एंड नंबर 3 इज़ ब्लरिंग ऑफ विजन। अक्सर पेशेंट जो है वो हमें ये कहते हैं कि जी हम जब गेम खेल रहे होते हैं या कंप्यूटर पे जब हम वर्क कर रहे होते हैं तो हमें ब्लरिंग हो जाती है, जिसको हम ओवरकम करने के लिए उसको थोड़ी देर हो के आँख जोर से बंद करते हैं या 2-3 दफ़ा ब्लिंक करते हैं, उसके बाद अच्छा इसका इम्पैक्ट क्या होता है कि आँखों के ऊपर थकन महसूस होना शुरू होती है, जिसको हम एस्थेनोपिया कहते हैं, मेडिकल टर्म में इसको एस्थेनोपिया कहते हैं, वो पेशेंट होता है। नंबर 2, कुछ इस तरह के स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनको फोरियाज कहते हैं, जिनको आप मेडिकल टर्म में फोरियाज कहते हैं, लेकिन आम टर्म में हम उसको हिडन स्टूडेंट्स कहते हैं। हिडन स्टूडेंट्स वो होते हैं कि जो अक्सर पेशेंट की मसल वीकनेस की वजह से सामने आ जाते हैं। तो पेशेंट जो है चूँकि वो कंटिन्यूस स्ट्रेन चल रहा है, मसल्स काम कर रहे हैं आइज़ के, उसकी वजह से उस मसल स्ट्रेन को एक हद तक जाके वो मसल जो है वो थक जाते हैं और पेशेंट को स्ट्रेन डेवलप हो जाता है। कुछ पेरेंट्स हमें आते हैं हमारे पास और वो कहते हैं कि जब ये बच्चा कंटिन्यूसली कंप्यूटर में वर्क कर रहा होता है या फिर गेम खेल रहा होता है तो इसकी आँखों में ढीलापन आता है, उसके लिए जो है ये इम्पैक्ट है। VN का इफेक्ट ये है कि मैकुलर एरिया आइज़ में एक ख़ास एरिया होता है मैकुला, जो आँख के पर्दे के ऊपर होता है, उसकी डेवलपमेंट के लिए मल्टीपल कलर्स के लिए ख़ास 3 कलर्स रेड, ग्रीन और ब्लू, ये 3 प्राइमरी कलर्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है उसकी डेवलपमेंट के लिए। तो अब ये जितनी जल्दी पेशेंट देखना शुरू करता है ये कलर्स, उतनी जल्दी डेवलपमेंट होती है। अक्सर बच्चे जो है आपने नोट किया होगा कि वो रेड मूविंग ऑब्जेक्ट्स को बहुत गौर से देखते हैं, क्योंकि वो उनके मैकुला एरिया बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं, क्योंकि मैकुला की डेवलपमेंट के लिए रेड कलर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। रेड देन ग्रीन एंड देन ग्रीन। मैक्सिमम 2 hours, मैक्सिमम 2 hours, दैट इज़ इनफ फॉर द केस। लेकिन आज के मेरे ख्याल में 7-8 hours is 2 hours is enough.
The average American child, aged 2 to 17 years, plays video games for 7 hours a week in 2000. This average makes wide differences between boys and girls and children of different ages. In the present study, for example, adolescent girls played video games for an average of 5 hours a week, whereas boys averaged 13 hours a week. Video game addiction is a real concern for parents, but due to insufficient interaction with their kids, it's taking them towards an immoral way. Lack in parental control is making them isolated and they feel less interested in talking to their parents. Monitoring of parents feels bad and irrelevant. This leads to bad relationship among the family. Parents are aware of the video game ratings and 2/3 of them check those out while buying a new game, but 75% of parents set no limits about what video games their children could play.
This 3-month-old baby in South Korea died from malnutrition. Her parents choosing to raise and protect a virtual sibling, a girl called Anima. It's child favoritism. In a nation obsessed with the internet, where top online gamers are treated like rock stars. In court Friday, the couple, 40-year-old Kim Se-bum and his partner, 25-year-old Kim Yoon-jung, pled guilty to negligent homicide after their arrest last month. The two admitted leaving their premature infant sarang, or love in English, at home so they could play this popular online game, Prius, often for 10-hour-long stretches. Ironically, the point of this 3D fantasy game is to raise a girl who, as she grows, gains magical powers. I think of our baby in heaven, Sarang's father told the judge. I will be guilty until the day I die. As part of the couple's defense, their lawyer argued the two are addicted to online gaming, a condition counselors say can be very destructive.
Over time, in the absence of an intervention, this totally can rip through somebody's life, and certainly in this sad case, rip through a family's life very quickly.
Prosecutors want a 5-year jail sentence, but the defense hopes that the judge will consider the couple's addiction for the ruling on April 16th.
Leniency for internet addiction would be a first in the country.
In this case, the death of their child is such an enormous, egregious consequence. I certainly could understand that there are a lot of people who are probably very angry.
A US teenager killed his mother and wounded his father in revenge after they took away his violent computer game, a judge had ruled. The defense team for Daniel Patrick, 17 years old, had argued his addiction to the Halo 3 game, in which players shoot invading aliens, has made him insane. The Associated Press news agency reports that Microsoft, which owns the intellectual property for the game, declined to comment beyond a statement saying, "We are unaware of the situation and it is a tragic case."
ज़्यादातर तो वायलेंस गेम आई वायलेंस नहीं है और बिक भी हुई रही है वायलेंस गेम, लेकिन कुछ लोग हैं जो कार्टून गेम भी पसंद करते हैं, वो भी रेसिंग गेम भी है।
अगर पेरेंट्स साथ हो, उनको अवेयरनेस हो इसकी रेटिंग की, तो फिर वो उनको इस हिसाब से रेटिंग की गेमें लेके देते हैं। अगर पेरेंट अलाउड नहीं करे तो फिर नहीं लेते। अगर बच्चे अकेले हों तो फिर उनकी अपनी मर्जी होती है कि वो कैसी गेम।
लिखी तो होती है, लेकिन यहाँ हमारे पाकिस्तान में उस पर कोई अमल दरामद किया नहीं जाता। यहाँ पे ऐसा कोई सीन नहीं है, क्योंकि ना वालिदैन बच्चों को बताते हैं कि आपने इस यानी वो एज तक गेम लेनी है। वैसे तो हर गेम तो उसकी रेटिंग लिखी होती है, 18 प्लस है या 15 प्लस है, लेकिन यहाँ पे ऐसी कोई चीज़ नहीं है। उसमें ये होता है कि अगर पेरेंट्स हमें बता देते हैं भाई कि 10 साल के बच्चे के लिए गेम चाहिए, उसी हिसाब से उसको गेम निकाल। लेकिन एक बच्चा खुद गेम लेने आया है, वो ऑलरेडी गेम खेल रहा है वायलेंस वाली, और वो निकाल रहा है, उसे कैसे रोक सकते हैं?
मोस्टली हम जो है बच्चों को शोर गेम मतलब शूटिंग या वायलेंस जैसी गेम वो हम मना नहीं करते।
मेरे ख्याल में तो स्ट्रिक्टली इसको खत्म होना चाहिए, या कम अज़ कम एज के हिसाब से गेम देना चाहिए। सजेशन तो पेरेंट्स के लिए है कि कम अज़ कम उनको ठीक है गेम भी खेले कंप्यूटर बैठ कर, लेकिन साथ उनकी स्पोर्ट्स एक्टिविटी के साथ होनी चाहिए। बिल्कुल जाहिर बात है, हम लोग उनको गाइड नहीं कर सकते। हम तो चीज़ पे वो एक आप तो शॉपकीपर है, वो हमारे पास चीज़ लेने आए, हमें उसको देनी है, मांगेगा हमें दे दें, लेकिन ये गाइड तो पेरेंट ने करना चाहिए।
एडिक्शन जो है ये एक हो सकता है गेम्स पे हो जाता है, लेकिन इसके लिए पेरेंट्स को कंट्रोल करना चाहिए कि अपने बच्चों को वो किस हद तक खेलने की इजाज़त देते हैं और कैसा जो है उनको ट्रीट करते हैं।
More recently, Thompson has heavily criticized a number of video games and campaigned against the producers and distributors. His basic argument is that violent video games have repeatedly been used by teenagers as murder simulators to rehearse violent plans. According to Thompson, many parents think that stores won't sell an M-rated game to someone under 17. We know that's not true, and in fact, kids roughly 50% of that time, all the studies show, are able to walk into any store and get any game regardless of the rating. No questions are asked.